Hello and welcome to another episode. It's been a while since I've done that.
So much better. That was better. I like that. That was good.
Another episode of Wings and Things. Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it.
What is happening right now?
I don't know.
Wow.
Man, well, I'm Matt. I'm one of your hosts.
For now.
Yeah. I'm probably getting fired, but that's fine. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't fire me. I enjoy hanging out with our friends here in the Nerd Cave.
We're back in the Nerd Cave.
We are
back in the Nerd Cave.
The OG, it's been under construction for a while. We've been doing some major upgrades here at the Nerve Cave. The Nerve Cave.
The Nerve Central. That's where all the things happen.
No, we are watching football, and actually our nerves are a little high at the moment because of some scores that we're seeing. But yeah, as always, joining me, my co-host, Mr. Eric Crosby.
Hey yo,
you stuck to the script.
I did stick to the script.
That's
what I do.
I know.
I have a system. I have a plan. I go through it.
Makes things less
Make it
awkward.
happen. Yeah.
But you also know that I'm the opposite of that. That's why we worked so well together
100%.
for years, is that you stick to the script, I completely ignore it, but it happens.
Yep.
You know. But yeah, thanks for being here.
I'm here.
You are here.
Yeah.
Sitting to your left, our I feel like his title changes.
Executive Assistant Director.
It's not that hard. It's 3 words.
Executive
EAD.
Assistant EAD. Mr. David Howard, everybody. How you doing, David?
Let's go, everybody.
What's good, everybody? I love it. And then our producer, Mr. Rob.
What's up, homies?
How you
Welcome back.
Yes.
We're so glad to be
Welcome
back.
back.
Feels good.
I'm happy to have you.
Me too. I'm happy to have
Don't
you.
forget the last member. Probably the most important member of our production.
100%.
The member that made lives easier. The member that makes our voices sound even sweeter.
And
the Wizard of Wires.
The Wizard of Wires.
I love that.
I love it. There's your new title.
That is the best title I've ever
Maven
received.
of Media.
Not only the Maven of Media, the Wizard of Wires. The birthday boy today.
Hey.
Oh,
snap.
Our audio producer, Corey.
Oh, snap. Thank you, guys.
He flew literally tens of miles to be here today.
It was a whole 35 minutes.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
In first class, too.
I did.
Please don't
I had
Please
a
don't sing that song.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
had a first class
for the right
birthday
people.
flight.
Oh, yeah. Shh.
Yeah,
All right, cut that out.
We also have some other special guests.
We
with us
do.
today.
We do.
Some executive members
decided to
that have
descend from his corporate tower.
From his tower above us.
Our chief marketing officer, Braylon.
Yeah, Braylon.
Hey.
What's up, everybody?
What's good, homie?
Where's my Sour Patch Kids?
Actually,
Mm.
I got some.
Oh!
He knew I was gonna ask.
Look
Yeah,
at
Look at that man.
I was prepared.
That's
the surprise and delight of pulling them out of his pocket right at the right time.
They were warm.
You have
they were
no
melted.
idea how long
They
that's
were
been
all
in his
squished
pocket.
together, but
Yeah.
it's still
They've
good.
just been. It's like Napoleon's tots in his pocket. Unbelievable. Well,
And, and Judson is here too.
and Judson. What's up, Juddy buddy?
I'm good.
You good?
I have Sour Patch too, but they are not for Mr. Rob. They are for me.
That's a smart man right there. That's a
Yeah,
smart man.
Hang on to your Sour Patch.
And that is a middle child thing, if anyone has ever heard it.
Totally.
Well, welcome to the finale
Finale.
of season 2. We made it.
We made it.
We are finishing the tournament today.
We are finishing the
I
tournament.
can't believe we made it.
It's been
I
a
really can't believe we made it.
It's unbelievable.
long tournament.
It has been. I mean, we've seen some and tasted some incredible wings.
We've tasted 26 different sauces. They
Wow.
have 28 sauces because they came out with two new ones like 3 weeks ago. But we've tasted 26 sauces, and we are down to the final 3. This is the Three Wing Circus.
There it is.
The Three
Speaking
Wing
of
Circus.
sauces, can we just talk about the stories that we're going to hear about how some of these sauces were created?
I cannot wait.
I can't. Like, this is just insider information.
Yes.
This is great.
And the reason behind that is Eric.
Oh, I get
You, I,
You
Eric-
get this one. You get this
for
one.
Yes.
all you non-radio people, Eric just pointed at me, and then I just flipped it back to
Yeah,
him.
you did. Thanks so much.
Like the Spider-Man meme. You? No, you.
No, you.
Yeah.
That's so
Him,
good.
me, him. I was thinking Night at the Roxbury, but that's close enough.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Great pull.
Do y'all remember our dear friend Stan Friedman?
Absolutely.
Stan is a Buffalo Wing legend,
And the man.
and he is.
That's my
Things are
smoke
beeping.
detector. It's fine.
Okay,
Oh,
things are smoking
Just
in
the
the nerd
pizza
cave.
rolls in the oven.
That's
Well,
fine.
that's good.
Okay, everything,
Evacuate.
everything's fine.
You hear my wife up there yelling, everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
It's all
Everything's
good.
fine.
So getting back to our friend Stan.
we're still working through some things at the Nerd Cave, like all the improvements that we've done and
Look,
the
the
construction.
executive
Yeah.
level that we're on is good. It's everything below us that I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just hard to keep them straight.
It happens.
So our friend Stan got us connected with a man by the name of Scott Lowery, who is one of the co-founders of Buffalo Wild Wings.
One of
Yes.
two people
and
that
we
started it.
and we're talking to him today.
I love it.
He's
Amazing.
on the podcast. We've done an interview with him that you all will hear in just a moment.
How
And,
nice.
He was such a great guy.
So nice.
He's awesome.
He
warm, easy
yeah.
to talk
He spent a
to,
ton of
great
time with
stories.
us. And we've got we're gonna hook up with him probably next year sometime at the Buffalo Wing Festival. We'll see.
In person.
And I know
Let's hope
that
so.
obviously we'll get to the interview, but how cool is it that he's wearing a Buffalo Wild Wings polo shirt?
Oh, yeah, he did it.
His branding is on
Fully
100%.
He
represented.
is. I mean, I guess if you're one of the co-founders of probably, I would say one of the most recognizable, wing establishment.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's
Sure.
gonna, rep it.
I mean, he talked about it in the interview. They've got stores in Dubai, in
Vietnam, I think he's
Yeah,
like,
like,
I mean,
that's
they're
right.
an international
literally
company.
all around the world. So to say that it's one of the most recognizable wing places,
Probably is.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Not just that, but to recognize that he did it with his best friend / pseudo brother.
Yeah.
Like I grew up with brothers.
Yeah.
I was gifted to grow up with brothers, and to think that you could start a business that successful with your best friend,
Yeah.
like that's just incredible.
It's amazing. It really is. I mean, I'm excited for this interview.
Well, we're talking a lot about it. I say we get to it.
Let's get to
Let's
it.
roll in.
Let's
Do
go.
it.
Joining us now on the podcast, a Buffalo Wing legend. He is a former co-founder, COO, CDO, XYZ, QLMNOP, RS. He's got a bunch of letters in his name. Vice president for 22 years of Buffalo Wild Wings. And now, according to LinkedIn, he is a ubiquitous snow skier. We'll have to talk to him a little bit about that. Please welcome to Wings and Things, Scott Lowery.
All right.
Hi, guys. Thanks for
joining,
welcoming me to your show.
Absolutely. Now, Scott, we've got to talk about the story that you read online. Just says one day Scott and Jim wanted wings, and so they started Buffalo Wild Wings. But there's got to be a story behind the story. Can you let us know what that is?
Oh, yeah. There's a little bit more to that and stuff. Jim was basically kind of like an adopted brother. I mean, not anything legally, more kind of like the Blind Side story. But my parents were figure skating coaches, and we had an awful lot of students come and spend time with us. And so my parents became his legal guardian, and he lived with us, well, until he went to college. And then he came back and he was teaching figure skating with my parents. But anyways, Jim and I, we're almost like brothers and stuff like that. So we hadn't gotten together for a number of years. He was living in Pittsburgh, and my parents had left Buffalo, and we were living in Cincinnati, and I was attending Miami University. And so he said, hey, let's get together one weekend. I happen to be up in Kent, Ohio, doing a figure skating event. Here, back to that figure skating thing you wanted me to bring up. And then he said, why don't you come up to Kent, Ohio, and we'll get together for the weekend. So being the poor college student I was, he was footing the bill for the whole weekend. So I went up and visited him, and we went out to some bars that evening. And, often at bars, you come up with some really good ideas. So ours was actually leaving the bar that night. We were exiting this one bar, and we actually hadn't eaten anything all day. And that's almost another story. But there was a gyro stand on the corner, and he said, why don't we have a gyro? And I was like, it doesn't look too good. There was flies buzzing around. The meat was exposed to the environment and everything. There was no protection for the meat on the spit that was turning. And he said, oh, they're like, and I go, no, it doesn't look too good. He goes, well, they're up and down the street at Ohio State. They're kind of everywhere. And I went, it was like they're like chicken wings. They're everywhere. I went, time out. You're from Buffalo. You're living in Pittsburgh, but I'm here in Ohio. And let me tell you, there's no chicken wings in Ohio to save us whatsoever. He's like, oh, sure they're at one. No, they're not anywhere. They're in Buffalo. You might find what was called wingdings in the day in the Pittsburgh area. And so, like brothers, we always were making bets with one another. So at midnight, he says, I'll bet you $5 that I can find a place serving chicken wings before 2:00 in the morning. I did not have $5 to cover this bet, but I went ahead and took the bet anyways. I said, let's go, and you go around. So we drove around Kent, Ohio, pizzerias, no chicken wings. Any restaurant we could find open, no chicken wings. So finally at 2:00 in the morning, he goes, you win, I'll give you the $5. But at that point, every restaurant closed. We couldn't even get pizza. And so we called it a night, and he went to his hotel room. I went to mine. He had to leave in 4 hours at 6 a.m. and says, let's get up. We'll go finally get something to eat at a Waffle House. We did. So that next morning he goes, that was a great idea we had last night. Like, you talk about those chicken wings? He goes, yeah. He goes, we ought to do that someday. I went, well, the way my grades are, we really need to pursue this. So that was how the whole concept began.
Wow, that's an incredible story. So so you didn't get any food that night?
No, not till breakfast the next morning. I had a few.
And then you went to Waffle House, which is, as we all know, an Atlanta institution.
Yeah, that's true.
That's great. That's great. So when you guys first started Buffalo Wild Wings, it was called Buffalo Wild Wings and Weck. For those of us that are not from New York and don't know what Weck is, can you explain that to us? Can you describe it? Tell us what it's like.
Love to. Yeah. Up in New York, every bar has to have a food item to be in operation. So many of the bars carried what was called beef on Weck, because they could have roast beef sitting around all day long, and you'd have what was called a Weck roll, which is actually German for morning roll, and it has salt and caraway seeds sprinkled on the top of it. And again, back when we had this idea of opening up this restaurant, we said, let's take the best foods that we knew growing up in Buffalo, and we'll put all three foods on the menu, and we'll see which one really takes off. Hopefully all three of them do. We did a charred grilled hot dog. We did the beef on Weck, and we did chicken wings. So that's how we decided. That was the three items we had on the menu, and that was all we had on the menu. Plus, actually, oddly enough, wedges. That was our first fry, was wedges. Everybody thinks it was the buffalo chips, but it was actually wedges, which they now still have back on the menu.
That's amazing.
I'm hungry.
Wow. I know, right? I gotta ask though, what was that first store like? I mean, where was it? How did it look? What was the feel? Is there anything that kind of still carried over to, Buffalo Wild Wings as we know it today?
Well, the food still carries over as of today. It was very small. It was a 2,000 square foot restaurant. We barely had about 50 seats. There were some really interesting things here, and I'll go on all sorts of tangents here. But at the end of my junior year, Jim wanted to get the store open. So we tried to get it open at the beginning of my senior year. And I was going to drop out of college and actually try to go to school and run a restaurant at the same time. And we did find a location at Ohio State, but they weren't going to allow us to have beer. And we did make a smart decision there, saying, hey, if we're not going to have beer, let's not go forward. And I kind of was leaning towards, I really wouldn't mind finishing my senior year. I've done 3 years. I've got my buddies there. I'd like to finish up and all that business. So it got tabled. And that year, somebody else had the idea to open up a chicken wing restaurant at Ohio State. They came down from Buffalo. But as soon as I say this, you're going to know why the place it wasn't successful. It opened September, closed in January, which was very fortunate for us. But the people who ran that operation took the word chicken and they took the word wings, and they decided to merge those two words together and call the place Ching's Wings.
Oh my. Oh God.
Yeah. and then nobody even heard of Buffalo Wild Wings or Buffalo Wings at the time. So you got a product nobody knows about, and you're putting the word Chings in front of it, which, needless to say, a lot of people thought was thus an Asian concept. So
even in the early 80s, that's just uncalled for.
Yeah. So we were really lucky that they went out of business. I graduated in May. We started talking to them in May about possibly taking over their location. And so because we were so undercapitalized, I mean, my investment and Jim's investment each was $5,000.
Wow.
It's pretty low. We had two other partners put in $5,000 apiece. And the last guy in, because he came that year, had to give us a loan of $15,000. So we started $35,000, the company, but we would have never been able to afford a chicken fry or the hood, all the stuff we needed. So we were lucky that we found a place to lease. And so, but they did a kind of a bad job on the location. They had literally, I want to say, a box. When you went into the restaurant, the guy would literally open up a box, say what you want, and then close it. And you're in the dining room by yourself, and it was all stark white with white fluorescent lighting and orange tables. And so that's what we acquired, was a counter with a window that basically the customer would be in the room by themselves, and there was no waitress, no anything. They were just a room by themselves with a box that opened and closed and passed the food through the window. So we got rid of the box, and we went, the tables were orange. We couldn't afford new tables. So the only color we could come up to go with orange was, of course, brown. So we painted the restaurant brown. We had the orange tables. We made the counter open to the public, and that's how we started.
That's absolutely amazing.
So here's what I'm hearing, though. In those early days, it was all about the food, because if the wings weren't good and the food wasn't good, people would not have walked into that environment. We are all familiar with some wing places in this local area that are like that. You've got to get past that initial, and you've got to try the food. And it sounds like that's what you guys stood on in those early days.
Well, you're absolutely right. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the best things. It was kind of fun because I'd have people stop in, and this happened for years. I'm from Buffalo. I will tell you if these are true Buffalo wings. And okay, you're the judge, and I'd be happily serving the wings. And I knew almost always that the response was, hey, these are Buffalo wings, and I'll be back. And so it was always a great little, challenge by the customers, and I knew where I was going to come out ahead.
That's amazing. So I got to know, early days, Buffalo Wild Wings is kind of known now for their sauces because they have a billion of them. And I feel like they keep adding, new, more sauces all the time. What were the original Buffalo Wild Wings sauces?
I'm so glad you asked me that question, because this is another great little story. I got all sorts of good stories.
Love it. Keep it coming.
So anyways, we that summer, we had found a location. We were getting ourselves together. We actually didn't have that fourth partner until basically August. So we were really underfunded most of the summer. We were really against the wall. We thought we weren't going to get off the ground. We visited everybody. Everybody turned us down. Now I'm kind of getting off the story, but we finally were able to open kind of late. And so here we were in September. Quickly, we started leasing the place in September. We started remodeling beginning of September. So we're really busy kind of concentrating on getting the place ready. And we kind of always kept pushing off our sauces. We had developed our base sauce, but we really had no other sauces. So we're building the store, and I want to say it's late September. And we decided we're going to open up the following day. And Jim sat there and said, well, we'll develop those sauces tonight. We went home about midnight, went to sleep, got up the next morning, went back in, got everything together. We're going to open at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's now 10:45. We had the base sauce made. Jim says, fill the buckets with the sauces. We're going to have mild, medium, hot, and wild. We knew the names, but we only had one sauce. So 15 minutes before we opened the doors, we looked at each other and went, oh, we forgot to do that. So I had to go around the corner in the kitchen, look at what ingredients we actually had in the restaurant, which wasn't many because we really didn't have many ideas going on. And I had actually developed the hot. And I came out and tried it a few times, and Jim said, okay, that's good for the hot. So then I took the hot and I said, well, it's got to be hot. Then the wild has to be hotter than that. So I added some ingredients to make it wild. And that's how we opened. I did the sauces 15 minutes before we opened the doors, the hot and the wild. And the mild was really simple. The only way we were going to do the mild was just less medium sauce on the wings. We lightly shook them, and that was mild. So we had all of our bases covered. We really only had 3 sauces: medium, hot, and wild.
Wow.
That's an incredible story. 15 minutes before the doors open. Hey, let's make some sauce because
let's make our namesake. We're only Buffalo Wild Wings. Why should we spend any time on the sauces?
Yeah.
Wild.
Are any of those still around today? Are the original recipe or?
Well, unfortunately or fortunately, get myself in trouble here. People have always had to put their thumbs and fingers into the sauce. And so I think they have had slight changes over time. I know you guys were talking about the hot recently on the competition here. And I want to say it's not the same as that original hot I made back then. Because you would have been able to handle my hot. The hot they have now, they spiced it up a little bit more because they wanted a little bit hotter. Rumor is, that's all I know. I don't know the specifics, but I think they made it a little bit hotter than it was, which is explaining why you guys were having difficulty with it, I think, last week or whenever the last show was.
So I was the only one really having difficulty with it.
Yeah.
Just Rob. I have a hard time with table pepper.
Okay.
So, but you actually keyed on to something that I wanted to ask you about, because as we were preparing for this interview, I was trying to think through. So basically, in your mid-20s, you're getting out of college and you start this business endeavor. Younger than that, even okay, fantastic. But you go into this business endeavor with somebody who's basically your brother. I would consider you guys were probably very close friends. And now at this point, you're looking at this national chain. It's probably not what you guys started. It has evolved. It has grown. But like, what kind of pride comes to you when you're driving down the road and you see a Buffalo Wild Wings and you know that you were responsible for kind of creating that kind of brand?
Yeah, no, I feel it exploding out of my body everywhere. Quite honestly, I mean, it is. I'm so proud of it.
Awesome.
It's evolved over times. I'm actually very happy with the group that's currently running it, because they've taken it, I want to say, not full circle, but they brought it back to the basics we started with. I'm much happier with where the company is now than, let's say, 15 years ago.
Well, as a student of business, I love the story behind a kind of a family started business that just has grown to what it is now. So congrats on the success there.
Well, thanks. Yeah, no, it's mind boggling. I mean, when I retired, we hadn't gotten international, but one of my final things was, let's go conquer the world. Let's get these stores in China. Let's be, international. And now we are, and it boggles my mind, that we're in Vietnam, we're in India, we're in UAE. I mean, Canada, Mexico. I mean, we're all over the place. It was one of my many dreams along the way. First dream was, can I have a successful restaurant and stay in business and support myself? The second one was, can we franchise? The third one was, can we go public? It just every dream I've had has kind of been met, which then you have to come up with new dreams, and that's a whole nother challenge.
So the one question I have left, and you might have to be a little vulnerable with this one, but have you ever had, as you've walked into a Buffalo Wild Wings, a "do you know who I am" moment?
Oh yeah. I've had quite a few of those. Most people don't know me. And which is kind of fun. I mean, I can go in any Buffalo Wild Wings and I'm just like Joe Average. I mean, nobody has a clue. You guys were actually commenting on the Tonawanda store in Buffalo. Does Buffalo have a Buffalo Wild Wings? And I was actually glad you brought that one up, because that was one of the.
Hey, thanks for listening, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to know what I was walking into. So I've actually spent the entire morning listening to a whole bunch of the podcasts to try to get up to speed, so that. I'd have some reference here or there to some of the things you've talked about, not just taking this blindly. But I actually got the honor to actually cut the ribbon to the Tonawanda store when it opened up.
Very cool.
So here's the story related with it. So I cut the ribbon, and they have a picture that they put on the screen and that goes around showing, things that have happened in the store and stuff like that. So I was up there a few years later with a buddy of mine for the Wing Festival, and we went out for more wings after we had wings all day long, but that's what you do. So we went to that Buffalo Wild Wings. Now this is where hopefully I don't offend anybody too much here, but I walked into the store and I wasn't getting seated. So I walk over in front of the TV that's scrolling the shot of me clipping the ribbon to the store, and my buddy's next to me going, "Hey, does anybody notice? Does anybody keep playing?
Do you see who's in the picture?"
No, I'm not noticing.
That's incredible. Wow. So Scott, we've talked a little bit about the past. And before we get to the future, I just have to ask one more question. You posted an image on your LinkedIn page of a report that you did in 1981 at Miami University.
Correct.
And it said, we're going to have Buffalo Wild Wings, we're going to serve Weck, and we're going to serve churros. What was the churros part? Like, what were you envisioning with the churros?
No, not just what is the churros, but why are they not on the menu now? That's what I want to
know. They actually never made the menu to begin with. That was, again, back in college. I actually did a report on opening a restaurant called Buffalo Wild Wings and Weck, and I got a borderline grade, just enough to pass. And my brother went. That was some of the stuff Jim had put together for trying to get bank loans and stuff like that. I realized that was his page. I said it was my page, but it was actually his page, because he sent me his 6 pages of notes on Buffalo Wild Wings, which I then tried to grow into a 100-page report, which was really quite difficult. But back in that junior year, before we opened up the store, or my senior year, should I say, he had the idea. We were looking at anything and everything, and that's why wedges were on there. We were trying to do. Oh gosh, now I can't think of what their name is. But we're going to do the wedges that are called. Oh darn. Jumbo wedges? No. Anyways, the churros
are fine. Great.
But the churros were another popular item of the day, and so Jim was just picking up on popular items and throwing everything onto the menu he could. And then when we decided, when we opened the store, we went, "Are we really going to do these churros?" And we went, "No, it's way more complicated than we can handle." So we just never got to that point.
Yeah, churros are a pretty complex food. It's not really something that it's not easy to do.
Right.
Well, we were all amateurs, and none of us had any restaurant experience. That was the other thing. I mean, Jim was a figure skating coach, so he had no restaurant experience at all. Another one of our partners was a bouncer. Another guy was also figure skating coach. And I actually had the most food background that I had actually delivered pizzas during my senior year. and prior to that, I'd worked at the snack bar at the ice arena doing roller dogs and making chicken and tuna salad sandwiches.
Wow. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's all the culinary background you need to open a restaurant.
Holy moly.
All right, so here's a scary story. So full disclosure, Scott, I work at a higher education institution. I'm very linked in with their business program. I can't tell you how many local businesses get started because two friends with no experience and very little knowledge decide, let's just see how this works out. And that's the success stories that we see time and time again. So the fact that you and somebody that you were close with and passionate with started a company like this does not surprise me now that I hear the story.
Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. So speaking of that, so I have a business that I'm in with one of my closest friends. And we found that there are times where when we have disagreements, we fight like brothers.
Yes.
So was there ever a time or something that's like super memorable where it's like this company almost just completely imploded because we got in a fight over something?
Well, that could have happened several times. I mean, I do remember one time actually having to give, and I shouldn't say this, Jim and I got to the point, and this was really irregular, But I was trying to make him calm down, and I gave him a bear hug, and I wasn't letting go. And I didn't realize that made him even more have more anxiety about being held, and he didn't like being held, and that caused him to get even more frisky, shall I say. And we went to the fryers, and all I could see was us falling into the fryers. So I finally did let him go, and so nothing happened. But no, yeah, we had some pretty heated discussions. Never really fisticuffs, but it was darn close.
It happens. I mean, it's kind of, yeah, it's your brothers. Yeah, at that point, I mean, it's good to know that, we're not the only ones out there like that.
So let's jump a little bit more present day. What's your favorite sauce when you go to Buffalo Wild Wings?
Well, truth be told, it's the very original one, the medium sauce.
The medium sauce. Okay, so let's say
Can't go wrong.
This would never happen at Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's say they're out of medium. What's your second favorite sauce?
It would probably be then hot barbecue.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
good choice. Actually, I like that.
And actually, the story about hot barbecue was I read something to the effect that barbecue evidently opens the taste buds on your tongue. Hot closes the taste buds on your tongue. So I had this thing going on that I would go and actually order 6 wings of barbecue, 6 wings hot, and I'd sit there with the two of them at the table going back and forth, going open, close to my taste buds. And I was just having a good old time with, opening them up, then burning them, then opening them up and burning them. And a fellow employee came out and said, well, why don't you just mix the two sauces together? And I went, well, that'd be gross. I went, don't do that. And he immediately proceeded to go and do that. And then I saw him eating this for some time, and I went, okay, fine. I'm going to try this combination of mixing hot and barbecue together and see what it tastes like. And I was like, that's really good. I enjoy that. And so that was actually how we produced the hot barbecue, was that we just started mixing those two together.
And that's the employee we all want.
Yeah, right.
It says, I don't care what you said, I'm going to do it anyway.
That's
I'll tell you what,
amazing.
a lot of our menu development came from employees, getting tired of the menu, playing around in the kitchen, coming up with new ideas. I'd watch what they're doing. I go, well, let me try that. That's pretty good. I mean, like the first vegetarian item we had was because there was a guy working at our place who was a vegetarian. I'm like going, do you know where you're working? It's all meat here. He goes, yeah, I know. But I said, well, how do you survive? He goes, well, I just take the Buffalito and I skip the meat and I put in 3 cheeses. And I went, that's on the menu now. That's our vegetarian.
How about that? All right, so Scott, opposite end of the spectrum. What's the one sauce that you personally are never ordering?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. Parmesan garlic or spicy garlic. I don't like either of those garlic sauces.
We love the Parmesan garlic.
That is
I know. Parmesan
completely
garlic is so many
disheartening.
people's favorite. It's the one I don't like. And that's why I did not get ordered that bag of popcorn at Sam's the other day.
The popcorn's not good.
The popcorn is not good, but Buffalo Wild Wings has, and I don't mean to hurt any feelings, but I'm just going to say they have probably the second best Parmesan garlic I've ever had.
Well, good, because
Moon's is not the first.
Agreed.
I stay away from Parmesan garlic. To me, wings should be, I guess, a darker sauce than the color white. They should be red. They should be brown. I'm not too partial. However, I do like an Alabama white sauce, and I will go with that one.
Yes. One of my favorites for sure.
All right, so Scott, there's a question that we ask everybody that comes on our show with us, and you, I think, have an interesting perspective on this question, because Buffalo Wild Wings has sold, I think the count is now over 1 billion boneless wings. What's your thoughts on boneless wings? And maybe, I don't know if you were involved in this, but why do they call them boneless wings when they don't actually have bones to begin with?
Well, I'll go with the guy who's out there. Was Nebraska? That young man. I agree. They're nuggets. So the only wing for me has a bone in it.
Let's go.
So traditional is the only style
like
for Buffalo Wild Wings.
I love it.
There's a difference between opinion and marketing.
Yeah.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah, 'cause we actually got into a pretty heated argument with the social media directors not the directors, but at least whoever's running the account. We had at least a 24-hour back and forth with the Buffalo Wild Wings. Was it Zaxby's?
It
was Zaxby's. We got into a pretty heated argument with Zaxby's over them calling them boneless wings. So which we would say is trash, honestly.
Well, I go this far. If you want to call them boneless wings, then they better look like a boneless wings and have the shape of a chicken wing. Because now all those boneless wings look like nuggets.
And it better not be white meat. Wings are not white meat.
Yeah. So.
All right, so Scott, as we're kind of wrapping up, we're getting kind of down to the end here. Talk to us about your ubiquitous snow skiing. Where you been recently? What's your favorite slopes to be on?
Well, I actually am only on one set of slopes. I'm a member of a private club called Hollymont in Western New York, and when I talk about all over skiing, I would talk about all over skiing because I'm in the trees, I'm on the runs. I ski basically anywhere on the hill I want to.
I got you.
Last year, I'm very proud to say that I actually managed to ski 91 days.
Wow.
Wow.
That's why I'm an all-over skier. I can pretty much ski a fair amount of terrain. Maybe not the double black diamonds out west that are, straight down, but I
can't do those either.
Terrain.
So here's what I'm hearing. Start a successful business. You get to ski a quarter of the year.
Yes.
100%.
I like it. I love it.
I'm on board.
I have something to strive for.
Yeah.
When this podcast is sufficient and we can do it, then we can just go skiing all the time.
That's right. And eat chicken wings. Yeah.
And eat chicken wings. Perfect.
Sold.
All right. Anybody got anything else? Anybody got any other questions for Scott?
I just think it's so cool that obviously, number one, you took the time to, hang out with us and be on this podcast, but just hearing the story from the beginning and just seeing how two buddies, in college came up with this concept, stuck to it. I mean, while still being in college. And now, I think as much as, I like Buffalo Wild Wings. I really do. We've all, we've eaten nothing but their wings for almost an entire year on this podcast. So I will say I have a deeper appreciation when I drive by one now, seeing the stores around going, okay, we've met the guy who started this chain, and the fact that you stuck to it and were determined enough to do this, it's really, really cool to hear that. And it's also cool that you took time out of your day to be on this podcast today. It's awesome. I will forever now hold a deeper appreciation for B-Dubs, which I gotta ask, what do you think of the nickname B-Dubs? Because that is something that has become culturally a phenomenon, is the nickname B-Dubs. What do you think about that?
Well, again, it's another good story. Back in the day when we had I want to say 4 restaurants, and the store I'm talking about is one we had in Steamboat Springs. So here we were in our infancy days, where we had 2 in Columbus, 1 in Cincinnati, and our 4th location in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Again, back to that skiing problem I got. So
I was going to say,
so
it seemed like it matched up there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had to go out
there where it started,
check on the store and make sure it was running correctly. But we were in
winter, yes.
So we're in this ski town, and everybody there likes to be kind of cool and all that stuff. So all of a sudden I go out there and I start hearing that it's B-Dubs. We're going down to B-Dubs. And so it was made up somehow by some of the customers and staff or whoever. I don't know who did it, but it started in Steamboat Springs. And the funny thing about it, and I shouldn't say funny as much because it's kind of insulting to my brother, he hated the name. Jim could not stand it being called B-Dubs. He yelled at anybody who said it be B-Dubs and just never wanted it to be called B-Dubs. But you don't always get what you want. And
you don't get what you want.
Name sticks. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, when something just goes crazy in culture, it's kind of defined by that. But that's amazing. Yeah, it's it's an iconic. If anyone says we're going to B-dubs, you know exactly where you're going, and you know exactly what they're talking about. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for joining us. It has been a true pleasure and an honor to talk to one of the co-founders of Buffalo Wild Wings. As we're finishing up our season of Buffalo Wild Wings, we've got the finale going on right now. I think we know what his prediction is.
Yeah.
So
give them the last four.
Well, the last, it's a 3 Wing
Circus.
Circus.
Three Ring Circus. I remember.
Yes.
So Scott, we've got medium, Nashville Hot, and Jammin Jalapeno. What do you think after listening to some of the episodes and hearing our feedback and stuff like that? What do you think? And maybe a little bit of your own personality and predictions snuck in there. What do you think is going to win?
Well, I agree with whichever one of you sat there and said you dislike the Nashville altogether. And I agree. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be up here at all. It should be at least no higher than that.
Man,
I've actually never had
they had an easy road to the finals.
Yeah, I've never had the Jammin Jalapeno, but actually after listening to you guys talk about it, I'm interested to try it. So you've actually made me interested in trying a sauce I haven't tried. And so
pretty good one. Amazing.
Number 2,
that's all I needed.
And number 1, of course, is what I've said, the original base sauce for everything, medium.
The medium. That's amazing.
Yep. Yeah. I like this guy. He's smart.
He's great.
So Scott, I'll give you one other thing. This is the first podcast I've ever listened to.
Yes! All right. Shut it down.
Shut it down.
We did it.
No, we're done. We're done.
I don't need any more.
It's over. It's over.
Well, Scott, again, thank you so much for joining us. We're planning on being in Buffalo next year for the Buffalo Wing Festival. We'd love to connect with you if you're there. We can go to Buffalo Wild Wings if you want to. We're talking about going to some other places to get some wings. So we'll definitely be in touch between now and then, and would love to connect with you in person there, and maybe do another podcast episode with you.
Well, I've been going to the Wing Festival since I got inducted in 2007. That's about 17 years I've been going to it. It's an annual thing for me to go to it. I will absolutely be there. I'll absolutely look forward to sharing some wings with you guys. You'll love it. There's more wings than you can imagine. I mean, I've eaten so many weird wings, good wings. I could go on for hours about all the different ones I've tried there and stuff. You'll love it. I'd also tell you the Buffalo Wing Trail is a must. You really almost need about 4 days to be there. Come up, be there a couple days ahead, do the wing trail, and then Saturday, Sunday, just fill yourself with wings from the festival, because they're incredible wings from not only the States, but globally. I mean, the guy was from Iceland this year. He had some great wings. The Mexican Army from Mexico has some great wings. So, no, it's an international event.
That's the plan. We're going to try to hit the wing trail and do the festival. So we will definitely be there with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, Buffalo Wing Hall of Flame inductee, just Scott Lowery. Thank you, Scott. Co-founder of Buffalo. Thank you so much, Scott.
You're welcome. I hope I get to be a Hall of Flame in your guys' podcast too.
I think we can make that happen. You know what? I'm doing it right now.
You're in there.
It's official. He's on the wall flame.
He's in there.
It's done. Wall flame.
Well, let's share some wings next September.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Bye-bye.
I mean, is he not the coolest?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Absolutely.
It's his stories. I love that every time we asked a question, he was like,
I got a great
actually,
story.
there's a story about that.
There is a story.
Yeah.
I want to know what it's like to drive down the road and see your creation
Yeah.
like on the corner of every 10 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he mentioned it, but like we can never experience what that's like.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be something
And it's outgrown
really cool.
him at this point. He's out of it. It is not what he started, but he's still got to recognize, like, I did that.
I built that.
Me and my buddy did that.
it's cool, like listening. As he was like talking about it, I kept thinking about like picturing them in the original location. Like I kept like playing these things in my mind, like what it was like when he was talking about the little door,
those orange tables,
which I wanted to ask if like
white box,
like that was kind of part of. You think about their branding is like that bright yellow.
Yeah,
I was wondering if like the orange table had something to do with part of that branding or how that came to be. But I mean, I'm assuming and hoping that we'll get to talk to him more.
Yeah,
and we'll obviously have to ask him some more questions.
In person next year.
That's right.
I'm holding y'all to it.
Hey,
I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
I will bring a portable recording rig.
Let's do it
for that. That would be amazing.
I'm booked my plane ticket now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
I'm in.
And I'm going to fly first class.
And I already looked it up.
It'll be a little bit longer than your flight from Destin.
Fellas, full circle. It is a 45-minute drive to get to Toronto to have the Tokyo hot chicken.
Oh man,
that we talked about.
That's right.
Episode 1.
That's right. Wow.
Oh, we might have to do that, boys.
How many episodes have we done total? Season 1 and 2.
28.
We or
including the lost episodes?
Okay,
or?
well, not including the lost episodes.
How many episodes have we
including the
recorded
ones
or published?
that I was sleeping. I was here.
24.
I was just sleeping.
I'm guessing 24.
24.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the low 20s. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's impressive.
We're like not newbies anymore.
And here
like
we are. Season 2.
Amateur podcasts.
And hey,
amateur podcasters.
And apparently we're the only podcast that the founder of Buffalo Wild Wings listens to.
Hey,
that is very true.
He said
Business magnets are locked in to our advice.
Absolutely. No joke.
and now, I don't know this for a fact yet, but I don't know if it's the only one he listens to, but the Wing King also listens to our podcast.
That's right.
I mean, how many podcasts does the Wing King have time to listen to?
Probably not many.
Just
so
one.
I'm gonna guess one.
Just
yeah,
one.
Seriously. But yeah, I mean, we're so thankful that he was able to join us. Thought it was just so cool. Speaking of the finale, we had discussed that we were going to be at a Buffalo Wild Wings, right, for our finale recording.
Our local Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes.
Which
And
everybody has a local Buffalo Wild
everybody
Wings.
has a look. I mean, and apparently other countries have local Buffalo Wild Wings as well. We were unable to make that happen. Bummer. But I have a feeling now that we have a relationship.
We got a connection.
Yeah.
We might
I think it's possible.
We might can make that work.
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
But
today, we've got 3 wings sitting on a plate.
This is it.
Ready to be tasted.
It is the grand finale.
Yep.
The final.
Let's do it.
The Three Wing Circus.
We have on our plates, we have medium, Jammin jalapeno, and everybody's favorite Nashville Hot.
Woo! Yeah.
Rob is
so
celebrating. Excited for this Nashville Hot.
He just jumped in the air.
I can just.
I have an extra couple of wings in the Nashville Hot sauce on my plate just because I love them.
Yeah,
so
I know
very
you
much.
do.
I don't believe you.
I'm having trouble figuring out which one is which.
This is medium.
Okay.
That's the jalapeno.
Yep.
That's the Nashville Hot.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yep.
So I'm going to just go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off, and I'm going to jump into the Nashville Hot, and I'm just going to get it out of the way.
So we're doing it.
Okay.
The finals, everybody.
Hey, welcome. We made it.
We made it.
Yep, that's gross.
And we know Rob's not voting for Nashville Hot.
Well, we don't know that yet.
You think the medium and the Jammin jalapeno is going to be worse than the Nashville Hot?
It might.
Wow. Okay. Corey also has our predictions as to our selections.
That's right. Yes. They have been kept secret.
We do not have the Blazing Knockouts today, but that will be the loser will have to pay their bets on a future episode.
I have an idea here.
Another one.
What you got?
So this is about to be the end of the season.
Correct.
What is our, traditionally, because we've only done it once, but what's our bonus episode usually fall on?
New Year? Was it New Year? Or
No, it's Super Bowl.
It was Super Bowl. That's right.
So I think whoever loses in our special Super Bowl episode, I think that's when they have to take down the Blazing Knockout.
Okay.
Live during the Super Bowl, maybe during halftime.
Yeah. Have they announced who's doing the halftime this
Usher.
year?
Usher, baby.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that could be a really
A-Town
good
down.
show, though.
Unless Sorry, my mouth was full of wing. I also have a prediction. I'm wondering if Usher is going to have some sort of issue and he can't perform in the Super Bowl. And they're going to have to get someone to replace him. And it just happens to be Travis Kelce's girlfriend. What's her name?
Oh.
Sailor Twift.
Sailor Twift.
She's been really like getting.
I just wonder, because, I mean, let's be honest. The NFL's
How
thirsty.
dare you wish illness on Usher?
I would never. I'm saying the NFL is thirsty.
No, it's not going to happen.
Her career's really taken off since they've been dating.
I think if she really tries hard and practices, she might make it one day.
Y'all, I heard she actually had a pretty good burgeoning country career at some point in time. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
It wasn't?
No,
Okay.
she just never made it in country. She had to just go straight to pop. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest. This might be
that might be the best Nashville
This
hot
might
I've
be
ever
the
had.
best Nashville hot I've ever
It's
had.
actually pretty good.
I mean,
Because there was no Nashville flavor. It wasn't the normal, like, cumin heavy.
Yeah.
I mean,
all the flavors and spices were balanced
I took
in
a
it.
bite.
And it's like, okay.
I took my second bite and I was like,
That was not that
This
bad.
is-
That was
No.
really good.
Now, I
That was
also
pretty good.
slathered mine in ranch.
Now,
dressing.
now, Rob, I got to tell you, for a moment when you had left the room earlier today, we all decided that we were going to vote for Nashville Hot just because.
I don't doubt that for a
But-
second.
That's like, I'm kind of
That was the
leaning toward, like,
Listen.
as of right now,
that was the best version
that's
we've had.
pretty good.
It's the first wing we've had today, and you're right. Knowing what I know about Nashville Hot, that may be the best Nashville Hot wing we've had.
Leader in the
They've
clubhouse.
also maybe sat a little longer than our normal wings. sit.
Sure.
So maybe some of that Nashville funkiness wore off.
Now, is this from the same establishment that we've been?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
receiving?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same chain
Same-
every
same
time.
Buffalo Wild
Don't-
Wings.
Same location.
I got like a really great flavor all the way through.
My mouth is warm.
Like my mouth is warm. It doesn't hurt.
Yep.
Which that's kind of how I've always been accustomed with like Nashville hot flavor. Is it's a really bold warmness in my mouth, but it's not necessarily like I'm dying.
It's a flavor profile, not a spice profile.
Yes, exactly. So I hate to say it, but I actually don't hate to say it, but that was really good.
That's my third or fourth Nashville hot wing.
Yep.
And I will say it is probably the best one I've had out of our batch.
Wow. Y'all heard it here. That was the best one out of
Nashville
the
Hot.
So I chose
is
first.
not always terrible.
I'm gonna throw it to David Howard. Which one do we do next?
Oh,
Hey, wait, can we get Corey's opinion on the Nashville Hot first?
No, absolutely not. Corey is a silent partner. He's
Never
not
mind.
allowed to talk.
That's fair.
Corey, please. What do you got?
You guys aren't wrong. This is like one of the few Nashville hot batches that was decent.
And it's still not true Nashville hot.
No.
though.
No.
Let's not get it
definitely
wrong
not.
here. All of our complaints from before are still valid.
Yeah. Now, I will say, from the two Nashville hot that I ate so far on the plate, the balance was off between the two. There was a little bit more cumin on one, and then the other one, the first one that I ate, was good. So I'm gonna have to. I'm always gonna have to kind of.
I gave you an extra because I didn't want to.
I
gave him three.
Listen,
of them.
I haven't eaten since like 6 this morning, so like I will take your extra one.
was gonna say we might all be very hungry too.
That
That
might
could
be
be
part
it
of it.
too. It could be it too. We have not gotten into
That is a fair
the
assessment. I
two
didn't
other
think about that.
flavors that we know we like.
Well, and here's the other thing too. Normally, peel back the curtain a little bit. Normally, we're recording these episodes at night.
Yeah.
And now we're earlier in the day, so it may
Skip
be a
lunch.
different crew. That's
True.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness.
skip lunch.
You know.
Yep.
Didn't think about that.
So maybe different cooks in the kitchen.
What if their like number one cook is like the midday lunch?
Lunch rush.
Lunch rush
kinda-
guy.
Could be.
Maybe.
Could be.
He's the star cook.
And he specializes
Specializes in
Nashville
Nashville
hot.
That's his favorite.
Or
That's his,
maybe-
that's
so
his sauce.
he puts all the love into it.
Maybe he's the only one that follows the measurements correctly
Yeah.
versus some other 19-year-old college student that's just like, what's the difference between a cup and a teaspoon?
Right.
Who cares how much cumin is in this?
Especially at night. Like, he's like, I'm going home. Like I get off at 5. Like that's
I'm
when I'm
done.
done. And then the 19-year-old dude who
Comes in,
doesn't-
all he's thinking about, he gets off at 10:30 and he's headed to that party.
Exactly. You know, back in the 90s, you'd have been headed to Cowboys, you know. I mean,
Back in the 2000s.
That's a
well,
fun
2000s, that's true.
All right.
All right, Howard.
What's up next?
Let's go medium.
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 All right.
All right.
All right, so the medium wings, you know, we found out that, you know, that is his favorite.
The preferred wing of Scott Lowery.
Yes, the preferred wing, which I don't blame him. Medium wings are just always really, really good. But I am deflecting on eating yet because everybody else is eating. So I'm just going to talk aimlessly into this microphone as y'all eat. I'm looking around. No one's disappointed so
Tangy.
far.
No, these are
Peppery.
solid.
Now, did y'all eat without ranch first?
Yes. Yep.
Nice little bite.
They are glowing.
I don't know about
orange.
y'all, but my wings are huge.
Yeah.
So like that's great.
So here's the deal. I actually don't like dipping my wings.
Get out.
Period.
Period.
Get out.
I want all of the taste of the sauce.
No, get out.
You don't.
I never dare
no
you.
ranch.
No ranch.
No
I
blue
love
cheese.
ranch. I love blue cheese, but not for wings.
That's
That's a
interesting.
good wing.
It is a very.
That is a good wing.
Good wing.
That's a great wing.
But
Yeah, wing's
that's
solid.
probably got more mouth tingle, more spice than the Nashville Hot. Right
Little
now,
Little bit.
I'm not hating it, but my mouth is kind of wavy.
It's definitely a tingle. It's not even like a heat necessarily yet. It's a full mouth tingle.
Oh, I'm sweaty.
Well,
Shocker.
Yeah.
yeah. What do you think, Ross?
Yeah, those are. We've said it before, but seriously, like if you want a traditional
Hot.
medium wing, you get what you pay for there. Like,
Nothing
that's-
special.
Nope.
It's not amazing, but it's like when I go and I want medium wings, that's exactly what I want.
And they're a little bit. Did we say it last episode that were the medium wings last episode a little bit more spicy?
A little
than
too hot.
They're a little bit.
These are teetering on that, honestly. Like,
It's right up to the line,
yeah,
but it's not crossing.
it's almost a hot wing. But no, I mean, yeah, mine was solid. I mean, it just a little warm for me.
That's the one downside. They
Howard-
are a touch warm.
Yeah. What do you think, Howard?
They are a touch warm, but
Scott said that too, though.
That's right.
He said
They changed.
Yeah,
the
the
time.
medium
changed
is
it.
hotter than we originally made it.
correct.
In those 15 minutes before the first store opened.
Yeah. Tangy though, good flavor. I mean, I could eat quite a few of these.
Corey, take that medium wing and dip it in that freaking ranch.
All right.
Do it.
That's an order. You must do it.
Bet.
I'm telling you.
you don't have to search what's what.
I'm telling you, there is something about a really good medium wing.
Have you ever dipped your wings in ranch, or is this the first time?
No,
you're-
I have
Okay.
before, yes.
I didn't know if we were witnessing history. I was just trying to find out.
Well, you may be if I actually enjoy this.
Is it just that you want just a wing, like you just want a wing? I mean, you know, or is it that you just don't like the combination?
Okay. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
There is something special about a medium wing.
You have to get the ratio right.
I think so. I think that may be the thing.
That's where you play with it. You start with just a little bit.
Oh.
And if it's not enough, you can always add more. You don't want too much. If it's too much, then you're just eating salad
I
dressing.
think what it has been for me is it softened the spice, and that's part. Like I've always felt like that should be part of the flavor.
Oh no, so that's what it's supposed to do.
Right.
It's supposed to
But-
lessen the spice.
But that's always to me part of the magic of that flavor. Is if it's supposed to be spicy,
Right.
let it be spicy. But I don't hate that. I will admit the medium.
The medium.
And it may be that I've never done medium in ranch. I've done other flavors in
sure.
ranch, and I'm like, okay, this is disappointing. I wanted the kick.
Right.
This was, it didn't kill the spice. The flavor's still there, but it added like that zest to it. So I didn't hate that. That was good.
It's a dang good medium wing.
That's a great wing.
It really is. It really is.
All right.
Well,
One more left.
I guess we're going Nashville.
We already did that.
Jammin'.
Jammin' jalapeno.
Gotta jam a little.
Yeah, man.
We just lost our producer, but that's
Rob's gone.
Whatever.
Shows
We got to the Jammin' jalapeno. and
He had to go get a
"I'm out."
towel.
going down
Needed to dry
quickly.
off.
Is that what he's doing? He's getting
Yeah,
a towel?
probably.
Amazing.
Or he had to change his shirt.
All right, Jammin' jalapeno. I think this was my favorite from the semifinals. It kind of got a resounding just, 4 yeses. You got the golden ticket, man. I mean, it's not a traditional jalapeno, or it's not a traditional wing. It's it's just something special about this wing that could
love
push
that-
it over the top.
I love that Scott wants to go try Jammin' jalapeno now.
I know, right? Like the fact that he listened and go, I'm gonna have to go try that. I mean, that's pretty cool,
Did not like that. He did not like garlic parmesan.
right?
Well, I have a surprise for you. There's a box of garlic parmesan
No.
on the thing.
I'm so happy.
On the table. I knew you'd be happy.
Man, I mean,
Rob's back, everybody, and now we're
Rob's
doing Jammin' jalapeno. So
All right, he's got a fresh shirt on. He's dry. We're good.
Literally didn't have to mention that I had left. We could have just.
no, we're authentic.
Way more
This
fun
podcast.
this way.
That's what happens when you record somewhere that I am so comfortable.
that's true. Man,
I haven't taken a bite yet, and I'm already kind of torn
Torn on what?
on where my
Nashville
decision
hot?
is going today.
What do you mean by that?
I
What's going through your head right now?
I haven't taken a bite yet. I know
Right.
where I want to go. I'm worried where I'm going to go.
Okay.
all right, y'all. I'm confused.
Without giving away too much.
Go ahead.
I'm very confused. I
I think you're gonna say the same thing I'm gonna say.
whenever I eat, especially for this season, my first wing I don't dip because I just want the flavor. This does not taste like a Jammin' jalapeno wing.
Mm-mm.
So
I'm
I'm
getting-
gonna have to.
It's off.
I'm getting zero jalapeno flavor.
There's like
It's
this sweet.
it's way sweeter.
It's sweet.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what
So
I was trying
I'm
to
gonna
figure
have to eat
out.
the second wing, but now I got like this crazy like spice going on after. But I'm very confused. I'm gonna have to eat this second wing without sauce too, because it's almost like a honey.
You're right.
Yeah.
The sweet is much stronger on the front end than it has been. There is not the jalapeno taste,
Mhm.
but the spice sneaks up on you and has not in the past with this sauce for me. In the past, I've gotten all of the pepper flavor, none of the spice. This is a little hot.
I'm not sure if it's safe to say this, but could this not be a Jammin' jalapeno wing?
Oh no, it is.
It is.
It is.
Okay.
It's
It doesn't
just
taste like any of the other wings
No,
that
yeah.
we've tasted.
It's
Like
just
it doesn't necessarily taste like Jammin'
a
jalapeno
poorly
either.
mixed batch of the sauce compared to what we have had. But I also, I'm willing to say, I kind of felt that about the medium this time too. I thought the medium was not what we have had in the past.
This finale is shaping up a whole lot different than I thought it would.
It
Yeah,
really is.
I'm kind of like thinking back to last episode and the episodes before that. Like, am I going to allow that to determine my pick? Knowing what
Is it
that
going to
wing-
influence your idea?
I'll be honest
Are we
with you.
going off just today?
Yeah.
Or are we going off every preconceived notion we
Right.
already have about these sauces?
And I'll be honest with you, I was so excited to eat that Jammin' jalapeno wing,
I was too.
Same.
and now I'm like, I don't know if I had like this weird jalapeno honey.
Well, so
Spice
here's something
thing.
else to point out, though. In all fairness, we've talked many times about our wings sit for just a minute
Right.
before
Sure.
we eat them. Today, they have sat longer than they normally do.
But I feel like that flavor you wouldn't have lost necessarily from them sitting that much.
I could see the spice wearing off and the sweetness getting more.
Okay.
I could see that change happening, especially because they're cold. What if we warm them up?
Would it have been that drastic?
But also, cold is also known to make spicy things more spicy.
More spicy.
So
Yeah, I don't know that necessarily the sweetness would have intensified.
it could. As it jellies.
Yeah, it could.
It could.
Sure. I don't know, like them sitting for that long that
Right.
the
just be a
spice
bad
would have
mix.
neutralized. And yeah, that's
It was way underwhelming from.
All right, so I
Past
think we need
experiences.
to take about 10 seconds,
Yeah.
and we all need to think of our winner.
Well, let's do this. What if we... let's rank them. Let's start 3, 2, 1.
Well, how about just 3 and 1? Name your last, name your first.
There you go.
It's pretty easy to say who the other is
a power
going to
of
be.
deduction we can figure out.
And so now, once
Should
again...
we all do last place and then we all do first place?
Yeah. To your point, are we basing the finale
Yeah.
off of today's wings or off of
Personal
our
preference.
experience with these wings?
Personal preference.
Yeah, it's up to you. If you want to,
You don't have to tell us.
base
just,
it on
just
the
what
wing that
is-
you had on your plate in front of us, or if you want to base it off of the entire season, that's your decision.
All right, so let me ask you all this. Based off of today's wings and your opinion and your view of those wings over the last however many episodes this season, has your number one changed? Is it different? I'm sorry, that's what I meant. Like,
No.
Is your number one different from today versus...
No.
It's closer. I know that.
It's closer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the gap has narrowed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Matt Van Zant,
I'm going first.
last place wing.
Oh, man.
5,
I have 2.
4,
Pick one.
2,
Last place wing,
1. What's at the top of your head?
Jammin Jalapeno.
Wow.
That's where it has changed for me today.
So I think he's going with just today.
I'm not going with just today, but it's like this weird thing to where I'm just going,
I get it.
that was so weird. If you waited,
Yep.
everything, that wing brought Jammin Jalapeno so down.
Regardless of what it is, your opinion is fair.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Eric Crosby,
My
last place wing.
last place wing is Nashville Hot. Matt and I went to Buffalo Wild Wings several months ago, and we got Nashville Hot. And in the
We
store,
talked about this a few times.
we talked about it. In the store, it was really good.
really good.
But then during the tournament until today,
Gross.
they've been really down. And then today kind of like elevated a little bit. So like there's this roller coaster of inconsistency that I'm just like, if I was going to the store and I was sitting down to order, because of that, I would not order Nashville Hot.
Yep.
I want something that when I sit there, I know what I'm gonna get. I know the flavor that I want to eat, and I know like it's gonna be good. And Nashville Hot is just too inconsistent for me.
Wow.
David Howard.
Executive Assistant Director,
EAD.
David Howard. What's
So-
your worst wing?
I have 2 separate answers, but I'm going with a different.
What is with you guys in 2 different answers?
No, I'm going to give you both. I'm going to give you both performances.
Undecisive.
Come on.
So if I was judging it off today, only today, third place would be Jammin Jalapeno.
Yeah.
But my official last place is going to be on the global performance, and I'm going to go Nashville Hot for last
All right.
place.
I like it.
2 inconsistent. Today was extremely surprising for
It
me.
was.
It was
Yeah.
way better than it has been.
And it's
It
interesting
was.
because the Jammin Jalapeno and medium were so bad compared to the other ones, but yet Nashville Hot was elevated.
Because,
Right.
Yeah.
Because
and that's
it's
the one
weird.
that we've all disliked.
Yeah.
Correct.
Really interesting.
So
Producer Rob.
So I'm gonna do something a little different.
Of course.
of course,
We are
You can't ever do anything normal.
we are in a tournament.
here's my 4th place.
This is
And in 6th place.
October Madness.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter what you did in the season. It only matters what you did in the game.
That's true
Oh
because
my.
you could be a
That's
number 1
true.
seed and
And you just
lose
poop
to
the
a
bed.
16 seed.
You could be
and-
multiple
and-
number 1 seeds and
Yeah.
lose.
That's true. You could be
Look at the Braves.
1 and
Well,
2
that's what we were saying, Corey.
from
Without
both
saying
sides
it.
of the playoffs and only win
How
one
dare
game
you
in the
bring that
playoffs.
up.
I know.
Just forget how to swing your bat. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but today
Oh,
the
what?
worst sauce was medium.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
It was bland. It had a lot of vinegar, but there was nothing else to it.
Well, how did you know that if it was bland, sir?
Because all I could taste was the vinegar.
It only
the
had
other
one
two
flavor.
were not
Go to the
good.
finger.
But if I am just basing off today and they were playing head to head,
Wow.
medium was the worst sauce today.
Wow.
All right.
I mean, yeah.
And I say that, and full disclosure, that's my pick.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Sound engineer Corey, your last place swing.
Man. I agree with the Jammin jalapeno on it. Was like there was just something off about this.
too sweet.
It was too sweet. That it was too tangy. Like I don't know. It was just I get why it's a wet wing for the sake of it, you know,
Right.
the sauce, the specifics, and the little bit of sweet, little bit of spice. But I still think Nashville Hot's gonna be my bottom.
Bottom.
Yep, that's my third.
All right. So we are all over the board.
2 for Nashville Hot, 2 for Jammin Jalapeno, and
Wow.
1 for medium.
All right. Is it time to reveal our
favorites.
winners?
It's
All
time
right.
for the favorites.
Let's reverse it and go with Corey first.
So my winner today, without a surprise, is the medium.
Yeah.
It was just, at least for me, it was on point with, or the ones that I had. Maybe it was different, but they were just outstanding. The consistency was there with everything that I've had all season with the medium.
Yeah.
It's just it was the chicken was well done, well made. It wasn't like too crispy. It wasn't too soft. It was just everything about it was
Medium.
1 for
There
medium.
it is.
All right. Producer Rob.
Oh, all right. I'm just going
I'm
with
loving
what
this.
happened today.
I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh.
I hate myself.
This
He's
is
gonna
the
do it.
biggest
Oh my goodness.
plot twist
Oh my
of this
goodness.
season.
After what he said last episode.
and I'm thinking back to what we said against last episode, and I swear I'm not trolling anybody. I swear right now, if you 4 jerks vote Nashville Hot to win, it'll be the last podcast you hear my voice on. If I have to go off of what I ate today, the second bite when I dipped it in ranch of the Nashville Hot was the best chicken wing I have had today.
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
I hate
amazing.
myself. I hate myself because it was gross,
I'm so
but it
happy.
was the best chicken wing I had today.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Wow. Okay.
Amazing.
So Rob, I just have to ask. Last episode,
Yeah.
we've heard the audio.
Yeah, I know. I threatened all of you.
Yes.
I threatened all of you.
You threatened-
like, I'm
So
not
what
going to be your
happens-
friends anymore.
what happens
yeah, you
to
threatened to
you
unfriend
now?
us.
I'm not going to eat any blazing knockout wings. I tell you that
Oh,
much.
sure.
But
think you might have
I
to
guess
now.
it's up to you, my friend group, to decide what happens there. Because I did threaten you that I would never talk to you again. And I don't think it's going to win. But if I have to be honest, I have to be genuine. The wings I had on my plate today, not the rest of the season. The rest of the season, they were gross. Buffalo Wild Wings dropped the ball on the other two sauces today.
One for medium.
Wow.
One for Nashville Hot.
I hate myself.
What a twist.
Wow.
Man.
I did not expect. I'm telling you,
Wow.
this is
I still
shaping
can't
up
believe I said it.
very
I'm
different than
mad.
what I expected.
I'm shocked.
I'm equally as shocked. David Howard.
Wow. I am still
Wait,
going.
time out. If another one of you votes for Nashville Hot, my previous promise still stands.
You can't. You have no promise anymore after
Yeah,
you
right,
just
okay.
voted for it.
Whatever you say, Rob. Sure. Okay.
My global pick, obviously, after the entire season, is it's going to stay medium.
2 for medium.
It was the most consistent probably throughout the entire season for me. Other than today, but every other time we've had it, it's just been one of the best ones we've had.
Yeah.
It's my turn.
Okay.
Just to recap, there's 2 for medium, and Rob's pick for Nashville Hot.
His
Can I
favorite.
change my choice to lemon pepper.
You can pick orange.
It's fine. David's gonna get into those garlic parmesan in a minute.
Yes, I am.
I fully expected 100%, not a doubt in my mind, I was going to walk in this room today and pick Jammin Jalapeno.
Wow. Really?
100%.
Why is that?
Because I can't get over the flavor of a jalapeno wing.
Right.
Like when you eat it, it tastes like a jalapeno. And I'm like, first of all, it's a culinary marvel. Like, how in the world do they do that? Like,
Right.
that's amazing. And like we've all said with, we've talked all season long about consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Dry rubs are not very consistent. Wet rubs are more consistent. By the way, I like a wet wing.
There it is.
Had to
Took
fit it
you
in
long
there.
enough.
Brought to you by.
Had to fit it in there.
I'm not going to say it today.
But the Jammin Jalapeno has been very consistent week to week to week to week
100%.
until today.
Yeah. I agree.
Till
Fell apart today.
And I don't know what it was. Again, we've ordered these wings at a different time.
Right.
It's a different day than we normally record. There's just a lot of variables in why the wings taste differently today. But yeah, I thought 100% I was going to come in here and pick Jammin Jalapeno.
Amazing.
Which was my pick to win. I selected Jammin Jalapeno, but I'm going with medium.
There you go.
Medium 3. Nashville Hot.
I mean, that's
1.
it.
That's it.
Yep.
That's your winner.
So wait, hold on. This sucks.
No, it doesn't. You can still
pick.
You can still pick.
Matt,
but
you don't matter.
It doesn't.
That's what happens when you skip 3 weeks.
All right. I'm about to change the game then. Because this is my freaking podcast.
Well, we still have to
Well, it
figure
was,
out
but
who
this
has
is our podcast.
lost.
Our podcast. Sorry, that's
Thank
what I
you.
meant.
Come on.
Still gotta
As
figure
the,
out who's lost.
We're all a part of this.
I know. I'm just kidding. It was a joke. But I am going to amend the rules. But I picked Nashville Hot as one of my picks. And
That's surprising to me.
yeah,
So that was clearly that's the one you picked to win.
Correct.
Because you also had to just draw from. So that was
And
the
remember-
one you consciously chose to win.
I did 2.
Yep.
Correct.
A winner
I
and a
picked
loser.
Medium and Nashville Hot as my. No, I got two. I got 2 winners, and then Eric wrote in a loser. Right?
I thought it was 1 and 1.
No, we
can't
did.
remember now.
We put all the losers in a hat, and then you put your 2, which were Nashville Hot and medium.
Correct.
That yes.
And then you
And
drew
then
2.
we picked.
So you
Right.
might have
Picked
2
one out.
losers.
The
You might
two-
have 2 winners.
The
you
2
might-
that I picked though were Nashville Hot and medium.
Yeah.
Okay, smart choices.
I gotta go. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I'm going with Nashville Hot
For today.
Wow.
with the way Eric's right, because as you told the story of us eating those wings and Buffalo Wild Wings,
Yeah.
I thought about it. I actually ordered Jammin Jalapeno that day, and I was very underwhelmed. I was like, these are not that great. So that weighed versus Jammin Jalapeno being awesome all season.
Yeah.
And then that day, the Nashville Hot were amazing. And then it's like they've been
Interesting.
such lackluster. And then today, I'm like, wait, that's the Nashville Hot that I kind of remember.
Yep.
Based off of just weighted how I kind of did the other two. Medium just did not hit the mark for me today. Jammin' Jalapeno was terrible, honestly. Did not enjoy it at all today.
So
I gotta go
garbage
Nashville Hot. So,
got 2 votes.
Yeah.
And one of them was
it did.
yours.
And one of them was mine.
And one of them, plot twist, one of them
Lord.
was
Jammin'
Rob's.
What
Jalapeno. Jammin' Jalapeno got 0.
Which is
Which
so...
you would
Yeah.
that was a contender.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we said on the last episode
It might
it
win.
was between medium and Jammin'
Yeah.
Jalapeno. Like we didn't even think that Nashville Hot would even come to play.
And Eric, I was going to say too, when you were saying that you walked in here expecting to pick Jammin' Jalapeno, I 100% did as well.
Yeah.
I honestly considered it as well. Immediate. I said medium was my pick, but I was sitting here earlier this morning thinking Jammin' Jalapeno might win this whole thing.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
Just did not perform today.
That's
what happens in a tournament.
That's
right.
what happens.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought,
Upsets happen.
as much talk and hoopla we give the medium wing, I thought that I was like, you know what? The 5 of us love the Jammin' Jalapeno.
Yeah,
It might beat
It might.
the medium today.
It
that's
might.
that's why I picked it.
Yeah.
in our little prediction thing because I was like, man, we really everybody just 100% loved that Jammin'
All right, so wait a
Jalapeno.
minute. You picked Jammin' Jalapeno?
Um,
Well, we don't know what you
We don't
picked.
know what you
Yeah, we
picked.
don't know his
But
pick.
you picked Jammin' Jalapeno?
I picked Jammin' Jalapeno.
I picked medium.
David Howard, what was your?
He already lost.
Yeah, but I still want to know what it was.
You know what it was.
Garlic Parmesan. Yep.
Oh, you picked garlic parmesan.
That's what it was.
All right.
actually,
So we
Corey,
need to know what
we
Matt
need
picked.
to know what
I
Matt
might have won
picked.
this tournament.
are there any more
You don't win a prize though.
Nashville
I know,
Hot
but I still-
wings left?
Was that
No.
it?
Was that it? Okay,
I put
never
an
mind.
extra one on Corey's plate.
Okay,
so if he
never
ate
mind.
all his wings, then
I was
no.
just gonna see.
There's a
just
lemon
wanted to-
pepper.
No,
me
I'm
one.
good. I'm good. I just wanted to see.
And we got garlic.
If there
parmesan.
is,
Oh, that's right.
that was Matt's pick. Was lemon pepper.
Oh, lemon pepper was Matt's pick.
Lemon pepper was Matt's pick.
Oh,
Which lemon pepper?
That's the sheet that he gave
okay.
me.
All right, so who lost first?
What round was? Which lemon pepper was it?
Oh yeah, wet or dry.
wet.
It had to have been wet.
Okay,
So when were they eliminated?
that was like first round.
That was the first round.
Yeah,
that was the
Ooh.
fruit bowl,
Sorry,
that's
Matt.
right.
No. That was
or not the fruit bowl,
Not the
but
fruit bowl.
before the fruit bowl.
yeah. That was before the fruit bowl.
I think that
Ooh.
makes Matt the loser.
That
think
does,
it does.
make Matt Van Zant the Blippy auditioner, the Magic
The
the,
level 5
Gathering
bard.
district champion, the guy that doesn't listen to the podcast that he's not on
He has
because
no
he would
idea
have got
what we're
these
talking about
jokes.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah.
So the couple of episodes you were out, 1 week you were auditioning to be the new Blippy.
Yep.
oh,
There,
You did
next
not-
week-
you did not get the
you
part.
didn't get
You
it.
didn't
Who's
get it.
Blippy?
I'm very sorry.
There may or may not be an edit out there as well.
The next week you were a sub-regional Magic the Gathering card champion. You were out there.
A level 5 bard.
Level 5 bard,
If
which is a
anyone's
singer.
if
Whatever
anyone
that is.
knows me
Just
and
beating up
listening
on
to
high
this,
schoolers.
you would know that that's the
Yep.
opposite of what I would be doing. But okay, keep going. Yep, I like that.
That was our excuses for why you were gone. So.
Blippy.
Yeah.
I don't even know who Blippy
Oh, I
is.
can't wait for
Oh,
you to see who Blippy is.
Google it. Google it when you get done here.
Okay.
No,
I'll give
don't,
it a
because
little
then
goog.
you'll go down a rabbit hole.
Will I though?
Yeah, you will.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm honored to be the loser of
The biggest loser.
All right,
tournament.
so
and here's
it's only
why.
fair.
Corey ate 5.
6.
Did I get to 6?
I think you got the. Yeah,
I
you
think
got
I
6.
blacked out after one point.
You got to 6.
No, I
We're-
think I got to 6.
We're
yeah.
giving you 6. We're saying you got 6.
That was
whether you did
impressive.
or not.
He ate 6 what?
Blazing knockouts.
Oh.
And
It was
because the challenge was to eat 10 in 10
and-
minutes.
Yeah, 10 and 5 minutes.
Oh, 10 and 5 minutes.
10 and
That's
5
right.
minutes.
And he got 6.
Which I'm guessing they have like the names on the wall at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'd like to see like how many people actually won that contest.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what's my punishment?
Well, apparently, Rob has made the executive decision
Yeah.
as the producer on the Super Bowl episode. You will have to eat 3 blazing knockouts.
All right. Challenge accepted.
We'll be right here.
Do they all have to be back to back?
Yes.
That is
Three-
Honestly, I'm gonna give you the advice. It's the only way to eat.
3 in a
Just
row.
Stop thinking and eat them three back to back.
And don't stop.
Yeah, don't stop.
As soon as you start, like get them.
Three
Now-
is not bad, Matt.
Now, I agree.
Says you.
Yeah.
Says table pepper.
Now, let me ask a question, because the certain profession that I'm in may or may not rely on certain things.
We're doing it on Super Bowl Sunday,
right.
so it's a Sunday night.
I'm just saying, could that not damage vocal cords?
No, not permanently.
No.
Nah,
sure?
you're good.
Yeah, just temporarily.
Yeah.
You'll be good by Sunday morning.
you'll be
Just
good.
take that week off.
All right.
Who says it
okay.
doesn't? Who says it doesn't heal them? Maybe it make them
Right.
feel better.
Oh, that's true.
Could coat your vocal
mean-
cords.
I'm honored to be the first loser.
You might find a new tenor. Like you numb up those vocal cords, all of
Yeah.
a sudden you go
might have a
deeper
new
than
range.
you've ever gone
Silky
before.
sounds coming out of that.
I mean, I'd appreciate those sounds, actually.
Start singing Smelly Cat.
I was going to say it's like
oh,
that
no.
episode of Friends with Phoebe
Yeah,
getting
when she
sick.
gets
That's right. I'm honored to be the first loser. And you know what? We've eaten some really good wings all season. So
Yep.
I don't think any of us are losers. We're all winners
We're all winners here.
in B-Dub's life. So
In the Buffalo Wild Wings, Wings and Things, Wing Wildness Tournament of Sauces
jeez.
for the cure.
For the cure.
Scott's Tots.
no, that was
What,
a fun
um,
run.
I know.
Yeah, fun run.
What would everyone's honorable mention be? Not necessarily one of the three.
Garlic Parmesan.
Garlic parm.
one-
Can't
the one
believe
that
it
should've
lost
won.
in the first round.
It had a tough,
Tough matchup.
tough matchup. I would have to agree that garlic parm is my honorable mention.
Hey, guess what? I ordered some garlic parm,
Hey,
and they're sitting over there on the table waiting for us to go for it.
I mean,
So,
what a way to
there.
end the season.
yeah,
Well, garlic parm.
we still. This is the official end of season 2,
Right.
but we still got one episode.
One more
that we're-
bonus episode.
One more bonus episode. Whenever we can fit into his schedule, the Wing King Drew Serza has agreed to.
The Wing King.
Yep, has agreed to come on with us, and I think I have a feeling. I don't know this for a fact, but I have a feeling we'll probably be able to get into Moons a little bit easier than Buffalo Wild Wings to record.
I think probably.
So I'm just, we probably will record from Moons.
I love that.
Just because, why not?
I passed Moons on the way here,
I did too.
and I thought about getting some Moons wings on the way.
Actually, I passed, and I forgot that it was this close. Wicked Wings.
Oh,
way
yeah.
here.
Wicked is.
They are absolutely fantastic.
Well, season 3's coming.
I kind of want
Yeah.
to, when I get home later, around the time that we would be recording the podcast normally, I kind of want to order some like Nashville Hot and some mediums.
Do your own little finale.
And just at least
Eat
taste
along.
them and go,
Just eat
yeah,
along with you.
that was off,
Yeah.
But a lot of great highlights this season.
Yep.
A lot of fun. Yeah, it's been good.
Final thoughts?
Yes, final thoughts.
I can't believe I voted for Nashville Hot.
I can't either. What?
I'm so excited.
Thank you for
That's
not
my honorable
punishing
mention.
me.
Still in shock that happened.
It's season 2 in the books.
Been doing the books.
books.
Man,
Feels
we
good,
had
boys.
a full season of B-dubs, and it was a blast.
Yeah,
like the eating wings and talking about it. It was a blast.
More fun than it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Yeah. Final thoughts, David Howard.
Completely backwards finale.
Yes,
So crazy.
100%.
Rob picking Nashville Hot is
I,
the highlight
Yes.
after his comments.
I'm nothing if I'm not genuine.
You know
That is
what?
fair.
That is 100% true.
Fair.
Yep.
Crosby.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm not glad that we're done with Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh,
'cause
I am.
It was delicious.
Nothing against Buffalo Wild Wings, but I am. I'm
but,
ready
but
for
I'm,
some
I'm
variety.
looking forward to some variety.
yeah, for sure.
So yeah, thanks to Buffalo Wild Wings
Yes.
for supplying us with wings all season long. In case anybody's wondering, I know you're not, but we paid full price for each and every single wing.
Yep.
We got no discounts from them.
No sponsorship.
No sponsorship whatsoever. So yeah, we just gave them
Somebody work on that.
Ton of
Do it
money
'cause we
every
love
episode.
wings.
Yeah,
We
yeah, it was
just
great.
love wings.
And for their to-go packaging. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
They
yeah.
still have the best
2
to-go
seasons
packaging.
in a row.
Yes.
Agreed.
Pretty impressive.
Thanks
And-
to Scott Lowery.
And we talked to a legend today.
Yes.
Scott was an incredible interview. Can't wait to continue our relationship with him and Wings and Things.
Do some wings in
Absolutely.
person.
Absolutely. I'll be honest with you guys, especially after last season. Obviously, we all love wings. And last season, we got to taste a lot of different wings. Maybe an unpopular opinion, I have never been a huge Buffalo Wild Wings fan.
Me neither.
Ever. Like, I've never really, like, if we talked about wings, like, that would not be the first place that would come out of my mouth to go eat wings.
Correct.
I mean, Taco Mac, tons of other places.
Yep.
I found some really great wings that I really enjoyed from Buffalo Wild Wings. I will say they might be one of the most consistent companies when it comes to their wings, their size, the packaging, not marking their sauces.
Yep.
They are
Never
consistent in that. So props to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
And to have a greater appreciation for them from talking with Scott today.
Yep.
Well, that's the difference between a chain restaurant and a local restaurant.
Right.
A local restaurant, you're getting the best of the best every time. A chain restaurant, it may not be the absolute best. It's going to be 75th percentile.
Exactly.
But you're getting consistency no matter where you go.
Yep,
And they
exactly.
do that well.
Yeah, I know what I'm gonna order when I go to Buffalo Wild Wings
I
now,
agree.
and I can look at the menu and be like, I've had all of these. This is what I want.
And that's
Never
one of my
eating that
biggest
again.
problems. Like, the reason I don't go to some restaurants when they have 16-page menus, I'm like,
You can't do anything.
no.
Looking at you, Cheesecake
And that's
Factory.
always, Cheesecake Factory. Do better.
Let's go local Paradise Grill.
I hate Cheesecake
Has a
Factory.
massive menu.
Just saying, I do not like Cheesecake Factory.
Prom,
Anyways,
that's
I like
your prom date
cheesecake.
when you're 18.
yeah. So I love cheesecake, but that's how I always felt. I would walk in and I'd see all these sauces. I'm like, I don't know, just give me some that.
Yeah.
Now I know what I'm ordering.
Yep.
And so yeah, I have a greater appreciation for Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yep.
But I'm excited to expand
Yeah.
the podcast next season.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
well, from all of us here,
Season 3 is coming.
season 3 is coming. Stay tuned.
Super Bowl extravaganza.
Are we
coming up.
kicking off season 3 with the Super
I
Bowl?
think we have to. I
and
think that's
with
our
my punishment.
tradition?
I
I think that's our thing.
tradition.
New tradition.
I think that's our thing.
We started it last year. I had people literally yell at me to say, "Why didn't I get invited to the podcast?" I think
right.
Super Bowl kicks off season 3.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Season 3.
Gonna have West
Super
Virginia
Bowl.
Chris with us.
We'll have West Virginia Chris here. We'll get to watch Usher
Baby.
Baby. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to go through some crazy punishment. But from all of us here at Wings and Things, thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
We appreciate you all. I know this is a weird podcast about wings and stuff, but we love doing it. And it's basically 5 friends sitting in a room talking and eating wings, which we love. So, thanks for listening. Hope you'll have a great rest of your year.
Before we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Don't forget, check us out on Instagram. Check
Yes.
us out on YouTube. We'll be posting stuff while we're not recording episodes, so that way you can kind of keep up with us. And if you go to our Instagram page, we have like a link tree set up there.
Yeah.
On there is a place where you can go and sign up to be part of our newsletter.
Boom.
So go do that. We'll be sending out things during what we're calling the off season, but there's really no off season with
Never.
wings. But we may send some like polls and some questions out to people on our newsletter, asking them where we should get wings from. So you can kind of help shape the show.
Love it.
If you want to join us on our newsletter.
And as always, if you find a wing place you love, let us know too.
Yep.
We love getting those from other people. So from all of us here at Wings and Things, hope you have a great rest of your year.
Peace and love.
Here.
Peace and love. Bye-bye, everybody.
See ya.